customers and then to turn them into wellness advocates. So I don't know if you have any advice or input on that.
Yeah, so the question there is where to put the focus. Do I focus on enrolling builders or customers or both? And they definitely both bring a different dynamic. Each have right. There's another end to the stick with both. So first of all, congratulations on silver. That is worth celebrating.
Thank you.
So cool. And to be in Europe, remind me again, which part of Europe are you in? Switzerland?
Switzerland, yes.
Switzerland. Okay, cool.
The French-speaking part of Switzerland.
Very cool. Yeah, we're so excited about Europe and everything that's happening over there. So much growth. So congratulations on being part of that.
Thank you.
So this question of where do I put my focus? Do I focus on builders or do builders create, as you heard, a fragile organization if those builders aren't earning enough income quickly enough? And I have to say that it just depends. Maybe I can, while I'm talking, I'll look for the PowerPoint that Natalie and I share when we tell the journey of how we found our qualifying leaders, and if we were approach them using the business approach or the product approach. So
that would be awesome.
Here is here is that presentation. So can you see my slides?
Yes.
Okay, so these are our qualifying leaders. The top row is our main account, and the bottom row is our multiplier account, our M1. And so I thought it'd be interesting just to kind of go through and say, all right, did we approach them about product, business, or something else? And then I'll show you. And I also kind of thought it was interesting to look at how we found them. Were they one of our direct contacts, or did we find them through contact networking? Were they a contact of a contact, right? And so those highlighted in tan are our contacts. Those are people that we knew. They were in our direct circle of influence, or just, our one degree of people we knew. And then the rest were all found through networking. We didn't know them when we started doTERRA. So as you can see, the majority were found through networking. And then the next, so that's 38% contact, 62% networking. And then the next slide shows what did we talk to them about? So what was the approach that we used when we met with them and presented doTERRA to them? And you can see that those in green, we focused on the business. Those in blue, we focused on the product. And then this one on the right, we focused on impact. What's the difference they can make with doTERRA? So you can see that the majority of our qualifying legs, we talked to about the business. Laura, we did product and business. And then Bibes and my son Max was product. So what can we learn from that? And I think I have a slide with the breakdown. So most of our doTERRA career, our success has come from attracting strong leaders. 69% of our qualifying legs, it was the business approach. The product was important. It was important to those business people, but it wasn't the main focus. And so if you think about what does that mean for you and for where you are in your business, the lifeblood of our business is customers, right? And um, so you can't just walk away and say, oh, business sounds great. Like if I can just find other people to go find customers, then I'm set, right? And I can retire on a beach. Um, but that doesn't work as well as you'd hope. And so what we found is um, when we make our names list, we separate our names list, and my tip is that everybody should always have an active names list. This is not just something you do once as you're launching your business. Everybody I know who has a thriving doTERRA business has an active names list. So as you're doing your names list, always be thinking, what does this person need most? Do they need the business most, or they need health and healing the most? And so based on that, that'll guide you to know what to focus on. Now, obviously, if you look at the ranks of doTERRA, in order to hit those ranks, you need leaders. And so that's why we put a lot of focus on that in doTERRA. But if those leaders, A, don't fall in love with the product, or B, aren't getting the return on investment, they're not earning from what they're putting in, then you're not going to have longevity. So the key is if doTERRA is the seed, the key is to build healthy soil. If people are the soil, you want to stay really tied in to them and their needs, and make sure that doTERRA is nourishing and driving deep roots in multiple areas of their life. So not just financial, but also health, social. Make sure they're creating friends in doTERRA. Make sure they're being stretched. There's a certain component of am I being asked to do more than I'm currently able, and that actually people want that. People say they want comfort, but they really crave growth. So are they getting that? And then also, is there a spiritual or mental component? Like, are they getting the personal development that they're seeking? And so the more boxes of those that you check for a builder, the longer they will stay, and the deeper those roots. And so it's not an either or. Basically, we need to look at everybody as a whole person and see that they have needs in all these areas. They have financial needs, but they also have health needs, and they have they've got social needs. We have a whole team that they love the incentive trips. And so the once a year doTERRA incentive trip wasn't enough for them. And so we had to create another incentive trip to meet their hunger and their desires. And it worked awesome. Like that's one of our fastest growing teams right now. So I guess the answer to your question is, which one should I focus on is kind of a you question, right? I would move the focus off of you to them. As long as you're actively keeping a names list and actively, filtering that names list, going through and saying, what are their needs now? Because your names list changes over time, right? You might have someone who loses their job, or maybe they get a job. And so, you might lose a builder now. And so the needs are changing. And the more, I love what Elon Musk says. He says, we get paid in direct proportion to the size of the problems we solve. So if you're only solving the curiosity of someone, maybe they're curious about building a business, and so that's the only need that you're serving, then you've only solved this much of a problem for them. But we've had people knock on our door at 3 a.m. because they ran out of a certain oil and they needed it that much. Like it was pure desperation. That was a big need for them. And so the more you can get to know their needs, the better you can meet those needs. And doesn't matter if they're business or product or social. It all comes back to serving your people. Um, so I guess the short answer to your question is if you don't put some focus on finding builders, then all you're doing is building yourself a job. You're building yourself a job as a customer support person. Because if all you have is a huge team of customers, then you're the go-to for them for customer support. Obviously, doTERRA does some, but if you're the one who shared with them, then you're the first person they're going to go to. So that is my really, really long answer to a pretty simple question. How to
Oh, thank
land?
you.
Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, a lot. Thank you very much for your help. It's really
Yeah,
precious.
absolutely. Yeah, I'm super excited for where you're going to go with this. And if while we were talking, um, there's a video that we just did a webinar with Matt Hall on Tuesday morning, so yesterday, our time. And he, I think, better than anyone else on our team, he has enrolled leaders internationally. He's incredible at opening new markets and connecting with new people, making new relationships, basically leapfrogging from warm market to warm market. And he shared some tips that were just epic. And so let me just share a link to his recording. So there it is. And it's an hour and a half long because we spent the last half talking about in Indonesia, which a lot of top leaders, including us, are really excited about the potential that Indonesia has. doTERRA is not making any announcements, but if we do get enough growth over there, then they'll definitely get that market open. So that is super exciting. So go check out that video. If you're watching the recording and you can't see the link, go to YouTube and search for Share Success. Or I think you can just type in youtube.com/@sharesuccess. So definitely go check that video out. He shares like actual screenshots of conversations that he's started with prospects all around the world. And he's just a master. He makes it so simple. So go watch that. He also trains on mindset. Like he literally, if you could have met him 11 years ago before he started doTERRA to where he is now, you wouldn't recognize him. He has grown up so much to be such an amazing leader. So go check.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thanks for hopping on, Loran.
Thank you.
Okay, I saw some questions come through. Somebody says, I would love to hear your business approach with Laura Jacobs. So basically, when we approached Laura, we were scared out of our pants because we saw her as this like all-knowing expert who, we could never, there's nothing we knew or had to offer that she needed in our minds. Second of all, she had massive experience in network marketing. She had been successful, especially in Nature Sunshine. And so the idea that us, these rookies who knew nothing, had no success, that we could approach her and say, come follow us and we'll be your leader in this new network marketing company. It was asinine fatuity, as C.S. Lewis says. So we basically, Natalie had taken some coaching courses from her on holistic health coaching. So Natalie had become a coach. She'd taken the course multiple times, and she was, we were in regular contact with Laura. And Natalie was like, hey, I have found the best oil company on the planet. And I want you to take a look. And Laura already had essential oils in her herb shop. And so, in her words, I needed another oil company, like I needed another hole in my head. It was not there was not a need in her mind. So she was, at first she brushed it off, but the Holy Spirit spoke to her and said, Natalie has learned from you over and over. It's your turn to learn from her. And learn she did. She chose to listen, and she took the appointment. And in that meeting, Natalie brought one of our upline, Teresa Harding, and they talked. They talked about the oils, the quality, and then we said, "Hey, we want to take you down to doTERRA and have you meet with Dr. Hill and some of the other owners. I think I think David Sterling was there, maybe Emily Wright." So we took her down to doTERRA. She didn't have the time, but somehow she made the time, and she actually knew Dr. Hill. I think back in the Young Living days, they had talked about maybe partnering in some way. So she already knew Dr. Hill. There was credibility there, but she was super impressed with Dave Sterling, Emily Wright, the whole team, and so she jumped in. She actually went for founders, not knowing that there was any compensation for that. She just thought it was a recognition thing. And so she made it. She hit founders in the first few months, and yeah, she rocked it. So, okay. That was a long answer to a short question. Okay, just looking at other questions, I see Jean says, Silver Club, stressing a bit about the 4 more enrollments I need, doing a spa class on Saturday, but not much interest in it so far. Unsure what would be the best way to go. Stuck in Premier. Hit silver last month for the first time in years, but not looking so promising this month. First of all, congratulations on silver and Premier. That puts you in the top 1% of all network marketers ever. So that is worthy of celebrating. In terms of 4 more enrollments, I would go watch this video that Matt Hall did and look at the way that he leapfrogs from warm market to warm market. Literally, he'll, it'll maybe start with a post, it'll maybe start with just a text to a friend. And it's like, I'm not looking to ask you to join. I'm looking for people that you might know that I can serve. I'm here to serve and create value. Go check out the video. I think you're going to love it. If anybody else has other tips for Jean, getting 4 more enrollments to stay in Silver Club, go ahead and post those. I'd love to hear. Esther says, thank you for the Lindsay Norman sessions. The quadrants are awesome. Okay, Becky says, speaking of Indonesia, if you live there, can you order oils and get them shipped to you? So currently Indonesia is not open. So what that means is no, you cannot order oils and get them shipped to you. Right now, it takes some creativity and some problem solving. We're working on maybe getting a stopgap solution. But that is part of the adventuring of opening a new market, figuring out shipping, figuring out how to get your people paid. It's all possible, but it does take some creative problem solving. All right, Paula says, what would you suggest in reaching out to people who own a health clinic, but we don't know them? I would just say, get creative. Here's one approach. I'll just throw out there that there's probably a million. I would say, hey, I do free health trainings, and I specialize in, you could focus on foundational wellness with the VMG and the omegas and all that, or you could focus on essential oils and like whatever focus you choose. But then you could say, if you would like to offer to this health clinic, if you would like to offer a free training as a thank you to all of your loyal customers, I'd be happy to teach that class. And I'll be giving an hour of my time and expertise, and so all you have to do is invite the people, and it makes you look good because you're adding value to the community. So that's one approach that I've seen work really well. Some people offer health scans. So like the Itovi or Zyto. So you could offer that. That would be probably work less well in a class setting, but more in a one-on-one setting. Okay. Somebody asked for the link for Matt's recording. So I'll post that again. If you're watching the replay, just go to YouTube and search @ShareSuccess, no space. Okay. Becky says, use the spring promo. Oh, she's giving suggestions for getting enrollments. Yeah, the spring promo is fantastic. I mean, 20% off that many products. You're going to have a hard time finding someone who doesn't want or need at least one of those products. So, all right. Any suggestion for someone who is in the US and is moving to Indonesia to keep getting her products? Send them with a ton of products. Actually, if some of you want, like if any of you are really, really interested in Indonesia, we've started a WhatsApp group just for that purpose. And I think it's in, I think no, that's the Brazil. Go watch the Matt webinar, and I think you'll see the QR code to join that WhatsApp group. But that's where we have a lot of people who are interested in that market. They're just having an active conversation. So that would be great. Okay, Paula and oh, okay, you're just talking. Paula says, I have a lot of business cards from networking events. How would you recommend I follow up with them? So the key with networking is fast follow-up. You got to jump on those things because those turn cold really, really fast. People have met 100 people. They can't remember Adam from Eve. And it's just, it's really crucial to make an impression while you're with them, get oils on them. And then, yeah, just go do the follow-up super fast. And high touch is better than low touch. So a phone call is going to work better than a text or an email. And I always recommend, because of our spam friends who do sales calls all day, I highly recommend sending a text before you do the phone call. Just be like, hey, this is so-and-so from so-and-so. I've got a quick minute if we can reconnect. So much higher chance of them picking up the phone. Okay, somebody's asking how to get to the WhatsApp group. Go watch the Matt Hall video in the link that I posted. And towards the end, I'm 90% sure that they shared the code to join the WhatsApp group. So, oh, you know what? I'm silly. If you go to sharesuccess.com/Indonesia, there's a link right there. So just go to sharesuccess.com/Indonesia. And you've got the link to the WhatsApp group right there. Sorry, my brain is not fully awake yet. So that's the quick and easy way to join the WhatsApp group. Okay. Jeff says, our team has is falling to pieces, gone from elite to director, and are upline to gold are no help for guidance. Okay, so here's the good news, Jeff. You are the leader of your team. And as nice as it is to have an active and collaborative upline, it's just a cherry on top because you create your own reality. And so you get to create your success, your team success. So it starts with the energy that you're bringing. If you're focusing on the decline in your team volume, then where's that going to take your energy? It's going to tank. If you focus on doTERRA and the things you love about it and the products that you're most excited about and the solutions that you're bringing to people, then what's the energy that will bring to your team? So it starts with you, and it starts with energy. And if you're looking for really, really practical tips, go watch this Matt Hall video, man. You can tell this is top of mind for me because he just did the webinar yesterday. But he really, he captures so well the mindset, the word tracks, just how to get your foot in the door with so many people. I mean, you know, he's attended a lot of the inner circle trainings with Eric Worre, and he doesn't just attend them. He internalizes them and he makes them part of who he is. So a lot of the challenges that Eric Worre does, Matt has mastered those. A lot of the simple word tracks that Eric trains on, Matt has, you know, really brought those into doTERRA language. So just go watch the Matt Hall video. Okay, Jennifer says, product questions. What alternatives would you suggest instead of phytoestrogen, since it's sold out till June? Besides Clary Sage, I already use this in addition. Does anybody have a product suggestion for Jennifer? An alternative to phytoestrogen? I am out of the loop on that one. Okay. I'm seeing some comments here. Karina has a book suggestion, Hiring the Heavens. That sounds amazing. Thank you for that. All right, I'm looking for other questions. I don't see any right now. So feel free to raise your hand if you want to come on live. Jean says, anyone know if there are any enrollment promos for those in the Australia market? I don't know. I know that doTERRA has social media channels for each of the markets. So if I were you, I just hop on to those, you know, I can't remember what that, it's probably just doTERRA Australia. And I would especially look at doTERRA Business Australia on the social media channels and then see what they have. There might be something in DMK too that's specific to those markets. Yes, exactly. Thank you, Veronica. Okay, any other questions today? Jeff says, I will watch Matt's recording and report back next week. I think that is good homework for every person here to go watch that and then report back next week. What were your takeaways? What are your action items? It is, I just don't have words. You're going to love it. All right, Karina, we've got you on live. Welcome.
Hi, thanks. I have a question. So
Yeah.
I signed my niece up and I sent her a promo code, or I sent her a link from the link generator.
Yep.
and it wasn't right away that she used it. It was like a few days later. Anyways, she used the link, signed up, and it put her under somewhere in Mexico, some different country.
Mhm.
So I've been trying to get her back over to me, and they're not allowing it until they find the enroller that she's under now. And we just can't get anything done about it. Do you have any suggestions? Like,
Have you had her try contacting doTERRA?
no, yeah, she's the one that's contacted. Like, she
Okay.
had to send an email and all the things, and they're just not wanting to move her. So I'm not sure
Huh.
why the link generator would do that. I'm like afraid to use the link generator again.
Yeah, I mean it's not perfect, right? Because they might click the link once, but then they might, when they do the actual enrollment, they might just go straight to doTERRA.com, and they might use a different browser, a different device. So it's not a, it's not a fail-proof system. So yeah, Nat and I are still fans of the old-fashioned way where you put the enrollment in yourself. But
I am too now.
right, yeah. But I would just give it another a couple follow-ups with doTERRA. And if you don't get any success with that, could you reach out to us, and we'll try connecting with is John Jensen still the guy over that? Yeah, just hit us up. You can
Okay.
send us a message on social media, or Andy@sharesuccess.com, and we'll get that taken care of.
Okay. Awesome. Thanks, Andy.
Yeah, sure thing. Okay. Oh, Jennifer says that's a large cup. What's in there? So this is my morning cacao drink. James Bybee is the one who got us addicted to drinking healthy fats with tons of oils in them, essential oils. So if you want the link, go to sharesuccess.com/brew, BREW, and you can get the recipe and all the links. Natalie and I we love to intermittent fast, and this is the way that's made that doable for us, is through this healthy drink of, it's got bulletproof MCT oils in it. It's got some ghee and then some raw cacao. So that's what we're drinking over here. Okay. Monette asked the same question on Facebook, so we'll post the link there. All righty. Any other questions today? Still got a few minutes left. All right. Well, if there's no other questions, then I'll let you guys go watch Matt Hall's. Karina says, can you talk about the new comp plan? What specifically? I'll bring you back on as a panelist, and we can talk comp plan.
Okay, so kind of my question is, well, I ran into someone last night that was a gold, and she's pretty upset about the comp plan because she's, saying that she's gonna have to work hard again to be able to make, but she's gonna lose hundreds of dollars. She's gonna lose hundreds of dollars because of the way that the new comp plans changed. And so I was just wondering if you could explain like why she would feel that way, and like if that's, you know what I mean? Because to me it seems like it's better.
Yeah.
So
So I would have to look at her team and where her commissions are to answer that question specifically. I mean, Malu is posting, it's probably unilevel. Yeah. I mean, here's the deal. I don't know any business opportunity that pays residually as well as doTERRA. And so you can work as a police officer, and you'll get paid. You can be risking your life every day and get paid a certain amount. But as soon as you retire, once you've worked long enough, then they'll pay you 40% as your retirement package, right? doTERRA is not cutting anyone's check by 60%. The most I've heard of anyone's check falling is like 10%. And that's just because they haven't done anything for years. So, the comp plan, in order for doTERRA to be a legacy company and to be an asset that we can give to our children and have it produce fruits, we've got to incentivize growth. And so is it disappointing if we're gonna have a slight paycheck? Yeah, but it's only if you've stopped working. If your check drops from 100% to 90%, but you haven't worked in years, is that really something to complain about? I guess I would focus on the opportunity. The fact is, it's never been easier to get to $500. The path to 500 is now real and it's sustainable. And because more people can access that, the process of building is just going to get better for all of us. And so you're going to have built. I mean, earlier Loren came on and she was like, people aren't making, it's frustrating if builders come on, but they don't make money fast enough. That's going to change with these changes in the comp plan. Now people can get real results in a shorter period of time with the same amount of effort. And so, I saw somebody complain about, people are losing the 2% on their front line of unilevel. But I'm like, yeah, but now they can make $100 in Power 3 from that front line. Like what used to be 2%, like the average check that people were getting from that unilevel was $7. That was the average company-wide, $7. And so doTERRA just turned that from 7 into 100. If you get your base Power 3 plus your boost, now you're earning 100 off your front line. Like it's just, to me, it's so much better. I think it's short-sighted to think that there's loss here, because the opportunity has just opened up to so many more people, and that makes it better for everyone. So it's helped shift the mindset to one of growth, and that's the way we thrive. Period. Because in network marketing, your company is either growing or it's dying. And we just saw last week what happened. We saw Modere shut their doors. Like Modere used to be a multi-billion-dollar company. Modere, like this, the company that was New Ways, and then it became Modere. And so growth is the way to survive and thrive. And so doTERRA gets that. And that's why we're seeing these shifts in the comp plan. So I would focus on the opportunity of it. And I think they're missing something if they're worried about losing a couple $100. I mean, if someone is committed to being in full retirement and never lifting a finger again, then yeah, maybe they'll lose a couple $100 if they're a gold. But you know what? If I was the company, I would rather reallocate that money to people who are growing than the people who have completely retired. So I guess that's what I would tell them, and just look at focus on the positive. That's what I would say.
Yeah, it was really interesting. It felt like, because I hadn't really talked to someone that was, that had felt the shift or whatever, but it just confirmed that I think doTERRA did the right thing, because when they see people falling through the cracks, they're like, okay, we need to make a change. And I think it's just a beautiful thing that doTERRA can see the bigger picture.
Totally.
So thanks for that.
Yeah. Yeah. Great question. Okay. I see Brenda and Sherry have their hands raised. So if one or both of you wants to come on, then you can ask your question.
Hey, good morning. I just had a comment about the because I've had these feelings too. I've been a higher rank and haven't done a ton of enrolling for a lot of years, but we sat down and we looked at our PGV, which was not very impressive, and then we looked at our TGV, and then we looked at the requirements. And up to gold, I mean, you only need 600 whatever that word is, TGV to get to continue to get paid on those lower two levels. And 600 is pretty low, and it's for your whole team, and it goes, you know, pretty deeply.
Yeah.
So that was really encouraging to me. And I said in the comments, you know, if you're not working and you haven't been working and you're not very good at it or whatever, just act like you're new. So that's what we're doing. That's what I'm doing, is acting like I'm new, and just moving into this, because doTERRA has been such a huge blessing to me for so many years, and both from a health and a financial and emotional standpoint for me. And so I'm so grateful. And I mean, I started applying for jobs and looking at all this other stuff, and I'm like, what am I even doing?
Totally hear you.
If I'm gonna go work somewhere for 25 or 30 hours a week, why don't I just work for myself for 25 or 30 hours a week and act like I know what I'm doing? And even if I don't, I have you guys. I mean, I've got this awesome team and support, and so I'm actually really excited about it. I am a little nervous. I was a little nervous about going platinum because we've been close to platinum for a lot of years, and but then I looked at the requirements of that, because it jumps from 600 to 4,000, but it goes way deeper. So I'm even closer on that. And I need quite a lot of growth, not quite a lot, but one leg that needs to grow by quite a lot. I'm like, I think this is super doable. So I love that they've just mathematically made it so that it is really doable. So anyway, I just wanted to share that.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Brenda.
Yeah.
And I couldn't agree more. The opportunity, people, every time we host Experience doTERRA, people ask the same question, you know, have I missed the boat? Has the ship sailed? And is it too late to get in and do what y'all did back in the day? And it's like, no, it's better than ever. Like, seriously, the comp plan just made it so much easier to get to that 500. And that's a game changer. You know, there's a statistic, I think it's, it wasn't Verified Markets, I forgot who did it, that said that 83% of Americans would get involved in direct sales if they could make 500 bucks a month.
Yeah. They'll do anything. I mean, it's Uber, it's any kind of gigs, it's DoorDash, it's all the things. They're looking for that $500. So yeah, totally. Agree.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for sharing, Brenda.
Thank you.
Okay, Sherry, welcome.
Good morning. Good to see you guys.
Good to see you too.
I'm doing amen and hallelujah to what Brenda just said. And also layering in how grateful I am for you guys. Like Lindsay Norman's call a couple weeks ago was like so inspiring to me that I literally got off the phone and like reached out to collaborate with a couple of my cross-line buddies and received so much information. And then turned around and scheduled a call for my team and another team. And there's just all this movement now. And that energy is so important. And I also wanted to mention, whenever someone says, remember back in the old days, you know, you guys were doing so great. I'm like, yeah, but we didn't have VMG. And we had gross green drink. I'm sorry to say that right out loud, but it wasn't yummy. It wasn't yummy.
It was bad.
The products, like the soft gel introduction a couple years ago, has just been massive. You know, before, I think I probably still have some of the doTERRA shot glasses where we needed to put in the lemon, lavender, peppermint and just shoot it. Now, look, I'm tough. I can do it. But it was rough on some people. So, you know, we could always dream about the good old days when people just were breaking the door down to enroll. But I am so grateful for the cross-team collaboration, for all of the tools we have, and the amazing products from doTERRA. That's all I wanted to say. And so,
amen, sister. I want to just highlight a couple of things that Sherry just said. So notice that, when there's new information, we can choose to go to fear, but Sherry chose to go to belief, right? I choose to believe. Second, what did she do? She reached out cross-line. She reached out to her network and she said, first of all, I'm going to choose to believe, and then I'm going to choose to create a dream team of people to run with. And she reached cross-line. So how many times have we talked about that in the last few weeks? Lindsay spoke to it. I've been speaking to it. There's so much power in going cross-line and building your own dream team. I mean, that's what we get to do here, right? You can have whoever you want as a workout partner, and you can run so much further and faster together. Then I love how after that, you took that energy and you shared it to your team and you got them excited. And so that's the name of the game, is managing your energy. And everything is energy. And energy doesn't lie. And so when you choose that kind of energy, then it's contagious. It catches like wildfire. And so that's why we're more excited than we've ever been about doTERRA. And the opportunity has just, blown wide open. So such good witnessing. Thank you, Sherry. Okay, I saw lots of comments come through. Okay, Jess says, I wish the path to 500 were more clear. I'd love to have more clarity for you there. Like what part of that is not clear? It's basically start sharing and start enrolling, and within X number of, you can do it at your own pace, but obviously if you can compress that growth into a shorter time period, then you'll get to the 500, and it is primarily through the power of three. There's going to be fast starts as in those early days, but the sustainable thing that we want everyone to get to is that power of three base and boost to get you to 100 and then 500. Those are the sweet spots. 100, they're paying for their product. Now their product's free. The 500, now they're like, you've got their attention if someone's earning 500 a month. So, awesome. Yeah. It's cool. We had an experience doTERRA. Was it last month? Yeah. And Christian Risenmay was talking about the business opportunity, and he got up and he shared the new comp plan in a way that I've never seen. And honestly, I was sitting by Seth and we just sat there with our jaw on our ground, because most of us have been thinking about the new comp plan, like with all the details. And basically he just got up and he showed a few slides. In fact, I wonder if I have those slides. Let me just look and see, because he didn't go into any detail about TGV or PGV. He honestly didn't use either of those terms because he's speaking to a room of new people, and so none of that matters. To a brand new person who's building and growing, all that stuff is going to happen naturally. And so they won't need to track PGV or TGV in those first. And basically, so what he did, he taught it. Is that it right there? Oh, it's on a different computer. Dang it. Okay, I'll look for that. Oh gosh, I want to share it though. It's so good. So basically, here, I'm gonna look for it because it's worthwhile. Oh, maybe it was a keynote. Maybe that's why it's not coming up. That's probably why. Yeah, I think it was keynote. Okay, give me one sec. Here it is. Okay, if I share that to my other computer, give me one sec. Okay. And it's here. Okay. All right, here we go. So Christian did not give me permission to share this PowerPoint or this presentation. I saw the question come through. And so I'm not going to be sharing the file. I'm just going to show you the slides that, that he used to build a case for doing the business and getting $500 a month. Okay, so I'm just going to start right here, and we'll just do the 3 slides that knocked my socks off. Okay, so basically he said, as you start sharing doTERRA, you're going to earn this fast start bonus, and it's going to be awesome. And here's how it works. You know, you'll get 20% off the people you share with, and then 10% off the people they share with, and 5% off the ones they share with. And then as you're sharing, if you put people, you know, like if you build with structure in mind, then doTERRA will pay you even more. And this is where the residual income starts to kick in and gets really exciting. So he basically just explained, you know, as you bring people in, you're gonna, you know, put them here, and then some of those people are gonna want to start sharing, and so they'll start building teams, and basically, as long as you have these, and this isn't totally accurate. I'm seeing that he didn't update this with the new comp plan changes, but the way he taught it was he basically just said, you know, it's designed to reward loyal customers, so people who order, and here's the 500 LRP pod, and if you get this in place, you earn $100 a month. Then, if you get 3 more pods on your second level, then you're earning $500 a month. And it was that simple. And this is the point where Seth and I looked at each other like, oh my gosh, he did it. Like, he made it as simple as it could be. Like, there's no chat about PGV, TGV. It's just like, you just start sharing. And once you get a 500 pod, it's $100. Once you get 3 pods of 500, then you're 500. So that was the revelation that Seth and I had that day is we've been overcomplicating it. You know, when we're teaching the path to 500, it's literally that simple. So I'll screenshot those 3 slides and I'll post them on Share Success Facebook today. So awesome. Alrighty. Well, so yeah, so you need to fill the 3 pods to get the 500. You'll get 100 with your 1 pod, but you need the 3 pods under that to get 500. Awesome. Well, it's been a fantastic conversation today. Thank you so much for your time, for your expertise, for your questions, and yeah, just so grateful that we get to do this crazy journey called doTERRA together, doing good and creating value and receiving value along the way. So thanks so much, and we'll see you next week.